Hello, welcome to the award-winning Wonderland.
It's a weird one, then, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 awards, one this week.
One this week, and one was 2 years ago.
And just so everybody knows, this is Stephen Lee Baines, who runs the Wonderland here, the award-winning Wonderland, I've got to say now. So, Steve, I've been here a few times now. You're sick of looking at me. What a fantastic place it is. Tell us exactly what you do.
Wonderland Community Centre is based in St Helens. It's at Reflection Court, and it is for a mental health community centre. So we do a lot of support groups, we do parties, we do a lot of counselling. There's a wide range of stuff that we do here. Yeah,
and it's you and Daniel who comes along and gives you the hand. I think Daniel does more work than you, to be honest with you.
Thanks.
I'm not even wiping that off neither.
Oh, brilliant.
So you've got, in the building itself, you've got the likes of Dean, who does Duff, Duff UK. You've got
Stepping Stone.
Yeah, sorry?
Stepping Stone Counselling.
Explain.
Stepping Stone Counselling, what they do is they counsel a wide range of people that, that are desperate for counselling. We don't have a waiting list, so Stepping Stone are our counsellors.
Fantastic. So anybody who wants to do counselling, just get in touch with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And you've got the brilliant little Becky. I'm saying little Becky, she's an adult, but she runs the toddlers group.
Yep, Toddler Sense. That is the St Helens and Wigan Sensory. And she's here Monday to Thursday.
Right. And you've got Anne and
We've got
Cheryl.
Anne and Cheryl. They do our housing and debt advice.
And Joanne?
And Joanne is face-to-face entertainment. She does our parties at weekends. So that's on a Saturday and Sunday.
And Blue Banana.
And she has a private, her own business.
Yeah, and they'll all be on the talking points and real lives as well. So what we've done is we've come to Wonderland and done the hub, really, haven't we, of the people who are in here.
Yeah.
Because it's phenomenal and everything's under one roof.
It is, and that's what I wanted with the centre. The worst thing is coming to somewhere and then them telling you to go somewhere else and travel here, and before you know it, the anxiety and everything going to different places. Yeah. So I just wanted it in one place. So there's help here.
But you've also got the umbrella where even though it's under one place, there's also people outside of Wonderland who you can contact if you need to. You just need to come to here.
They can come here or they can contact us on the phone. We've always got someone's number. So if it's not based here, we do have that person that can sort it out straight away.
And tell us how Wonderland came about and how the name Wonderland, it's brilliant.
Wonderland started, I suffered with my mental health. It was the depression and anxiety where, it was just a light switch. And before I knew it, I was in bed all day, up all night. Got into that kind of routine. Was always thinking, I've got to get up, I've got to do stuff. And, my body just wasn't letting me do the things I wanted to do. I needed counselling. I knew that I needed to just talk to someone, get a lot of stuff off my chest. And again, ringing rounds and getting told it was this number and it wasn't. And it was... it got me worked up even more. And then I decided that, if I'm feeling like this, other people must be feeling the same. Yeah. So I decided then that, okay, we're going to have to look for somewhere, to be based so I can basically get these services in this building.
So it must have been a lot of work to start off with, to get all these services to come to you.
It was. The problem we had is we opened in the middle of COVID. So we got the keys, and the first thing we done was a food bank and counselling online until we actually knew what was going on with the building. We didn't know how many people were going to turn up. So that first year was quite hard to promote Wonderland. I know people still say, "Where's Wonderland?" They've not heard of Wonderland. We've been here now 4 years, and we are starting to get recognised.
Exactly, yeah.
But it was, hard. It was hard work, and I was saving stuff, and my granddad left me some money, So I put that together, and this is where Wonderland come about. The name was, I did ask friends, we had different kind of names, and what someone said Wonderland. And the story is, Alice gets kind of lost in that hole where we all get lost some way. And, she meets different people on the way that are trying to help her. And before you know, she's back on the other end of that tunnel, and she's out. And that's it. We're all like that. We get lost in that tunnel, and we need to find our way back home, basically.
Perfect for what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's not just you who helps you, who runs the place as well. You've got support behind you as well, haven't you?
We have.
And you've got the brilliant Daniel who's behind the camera. He wouldn't come on the camera, but he's there.
Yeah.
Who's fantastic at supporting you.
There is. I mean, I've got a lot of friends that, they do support me, and especially all the groups that are here. We are family run. I call it family run, even though they're not like blood relatives. But they're always here and they're always helping. It's never the same. It's something different each day. And we just get on with it and we have a laugh. The one thing I did want with the services is they've got to really understand mental health. They've got to have had mental health themselves. Because I don't want people coming in and, they've never had mental health and they're telling you how you should feel. And, and that's not, it's not what I wanted.
No, you want that. It's an experience.
Yeah.
And it's an experience from the heart, really, because when I walked through the door, was it 7, 8 weeks ago now? I mean, I come in because I've known you for years.
Yeah.
And as I said to you, can I come down and see you? And I came down and I was just come to see you, really, to see the building. And it opened my eyes for what's here. And I love coming. I just love coming through that door because the welcome you get, as soon as you hit the door, the welcome's there. I walked in today to do this podcast with you, and Daniel was, hi Jamie, you're all right. And that's what people want. They want that feeling of warmth and welcome when you walk through the door. You couldn't have asked for the best welcome than I know he's standing behind he's sitting behind the camera there. But, it was brilliant. And you're the same. Whenever I walk in, you go, oh, what are you doing here? And, but it's in it. I love the banter like that. You can say what you want to me because I've known you years. And I've been through it. I'm not going to sit there and go, I don't understand what you're on, but I do because I've been through it for 6 months now. Yeah, I've had that struggle, and and I'll be honest with you, when I come here, I can forget about what's gone on behind, outside, because you feel part of something. It's like it's an attraction. Yeah, and it is. I mean, it's not just like me and Daniel that'll welcome. There's Becky and Dean. There's a lot of us here, and as soon as you come through that door, we're all saying hi. How are you doing? Do you want a cup of tea? Do you want to sit down and have a chat? You can always chat to me if I'm not here, Daniel. So it is very open to like everyone. And even like people that have got the anxiety, and they'll go into reception, and you can see them like shaking. We've been there, and there's like volunteers that have been there. So they'll even come and sit with you and talk to you until you get seen to by, the support group that are here. So we do totally understand, about mental health. Yeah. I love 100%. Because, and I can only go by my experience. I can't go by others because I've not spoken to anyone really about the experiences. And when I was telling you about bits and pieces, I said, yeah, we've got the help here. You can go and have a talk to them. And it gave me that little bit more of a boost. Yeah. Because you know what I'm like, I can yap forevermore. But over the last few months, I shut down. I didn't want to speak to anybody. I didn't want to mix with anyone. And I kept to what I enjoyed. But coming here, it's given me a little bit more of an out, something to focus on and think, you know what, I'll do that. That's a good idea. Sometimes I've got to push myself. Yeah. But this is what Wonderland's for. It's the start, you know what I mean? And it sounds bad. I love it when people come in and they have got their anxiety or depression. It does sound bad. But after, 6 weeks, they're actually talking, they're interacting. And that's the bit I love because I see what they were like to what they are now. Yeah. And that's the part I like. So you get people coming in who won't say nothing, they're nervous, they're frightened. Yeah. And then a little bit later on, as they walk through, it's, it is Disney themed, and it kind of
shocks them, and that's the kind of shock I wanted, because they're then not thinking of why they're at the centre. They're actually looking around and thinking, wow, you know, what's going on here? You know, so it settles them a lot more.
So what kind of things do you, and I'm going to bring Daniel into because he's here as well. I know you don't want to talk, Daniel, so Steve can talk for you. When you're here, what kind of things do you do? I know you've got Becky, you've got Joanne, you've got Daniel, you've got the two girls, Anne and Cheryl.
Cheryl, yeah.
Whew, yeah, that's not bad for me, that, you know, good memory of that. What kind of things do you do? I know you're open Christmas Day, I think it is.
We're open Christmas Day, and that we started just over 3 years ago. We'd just come out of COVID, and a lot of people had lost people, you know, through COVID. And it was going to be like their first Christmas where they were going to be on their own. They didn't know, you know, they had no one else. So we opened the doors to Wonderland, and it was busy, you know, and
straight away,
it was. And listening to all the stories, you know, it was sad. You know, someone had lost their husband, someone had lost their wife, and that was heartbreaking. And then we've just carried on. Now this year, we've opened it a bit more, so it's not just people that have lost someone or they're going to be on their own at Christmas. We have actually opened it for the homeless as well, because I know there is people again struggling. So, but it's been amazing. We've had loads of donations. We've had loads of phone calls. People, you know, want to come on Christmas Day to give us a hand.
Fantastic.
So it has been brilliant this year.
And how, when you opened the doors for the first time and you saw these people coming in, how did you feel? You know, that you didn't expect. Did you expect it to happen, or were you nervous? Was it one of them jumping at the deep end and see what goes on? Again,
it was because of COVID. We were, you know, we did like to open, and then we were closed again. Then we opened. And when we did open, I think it was the Christmas Grotto, we actually was able to do a Christmas Grotto. Now, if you think, you know, 5 months before, we were still in lockdown, where I was painting and decorating, and I was sitting here thinking, you know, it's quiet, there's no one here. Once we opened just for the Christmas Grotto and saw people coming in and going and saying how amazing it was, I was made up. The only thing is we went back into a lockdown after Christmas, didn't we? And then it was March, the time we opened. So from being dead excited to get used to then, you know, from December to March, no one here again. It was up and down. But March, once that door was open, it was busy. We had a lot of groups that wanted to use it straight away because they knew they had to support people, because they'd been supporting people at home, and it wasn't, you know, they wanted to come and do the face-to-face. So as soon as we opened in March, we had loads of people. We had Advanced Solutions, we had Parents in Mind in. I said the counselling, they were very busy at the time. We had Dean, you know, we had the veterans. So a lot of it was on like Zoom. So once we opened, it was nice to get them in and do a face-to-face and just say, hi, you know, we're here.
I mean, Zoom is fantastic for the lockdown, but there's nothing better than coming into a place and doing the face-to-faces than you know, a camera, you know, you're looking through a screen. It's still, okay, you've got that great contact, you're still in touch with people, but there's nothing worse than being stuck in the house for so long. And you know, when you think of Wonderland, it's a perfect place to come into, and you've got so many rooms and so many themes. And when I looked at the toddlers one, and you've got when I was into sorting out the interview with Becky, you know, I walked in and went, wow, it looked like a little discotheque.
It was. That'll be me, that, because you know, I do like the entertainment, I've done discos and stuff.
So
a lot of it was like a lot of my lights, and I've just I've been saving, and I've just bought like loads of equipment so we could open a sensory room. So we've got a lot of sensory room stuff going on now. So I still put money. But I put I do spend, and things.
It's your baby.
I know what people need, and I know what, you know, I know people need a sensory room, you know, and you know, we do struggle with funding, but But if they're struggling and they want a sensory room, I'll help. I'll do as much as I can. And we've got to that point where, we've got a sensory room now.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to donate here, all the information is going to be scrolling across the bottom, and at the end of this, they'll be scrolling up there. There'll be a QR code. Just click on that and send some donations. You can see what they're doing here at the Wonderland. And I think there should be more Wonderlands. There should be not just this hub, it should be somewhere else. And this person should be the one who can organise it all. Sorry, Stephen, put more work onto you there.
Yeah, but don't worry, that's my dream. Once this is this is get to where it is, I'll be looking to branch out. So
at the end of all this, there's never going to be an end to this. It's an ongoing thing. Mental health will never stop.
No.
Depression will never stop, and you know that yourself. So the likes of Wonderland is needed. And to have everything under one roof, which you're doing, is phenomenal, because you know what it's like on the cost of trying to travel to places. If you only have to travel to one place for all the help, it's so much better, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I'm from Knowsley, and just for counselling, they wanted me to go to Liverpool, Kirby, Halewood, Speke, and when you're trying to find somewhere closer, I was getting bereavement and counselling and the wrong kind of, services. So I knew there was something, especially when you get put on that waiting list. No one should be put on a waiting list ever. A lot of people just want to talk for 5 minutes. They just need to get a lot of things off the chest, and you'll find that they're fine. And that's why we're here as well, where we will talk to them anytime they want. And you'll probably find they'll come here, have a cup of tea, talk to us, and then go, you know what, that's all we needed.
Yeah.
So they're not then needing to fill up that waiting list, because they don't need it. They just want to talk for 10 minutes. And
everybody needs that somewhere down the line, don't they?
Yes.
We were given mouths for a reason, weren't we? To talk.
Of course.
And so everything what you've done here at Wonderland is through your own experiences.
Yeah.
So you thought, well, I needed this, but I didn't have it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and give somebody else it.
Originally, it was, you go to your doctors and you get put on that list kind of thing. But as I say, you usually find it's the wrong service, or you're just waiting and you think, I don't want to be staying in bed all day for 6 months. It's not me. So I knew from my experience something quick needed to be done. And, it only took me a couple of months to find the right location.
And it's in the perfect location. Nice car park outside for anybody.
Yeah, we are just over the road from the cinema.
Yeah.
Cineworld. So we're not far. There's a bus. You can get a bus just straight over and come up.
Perfect, yeah. And I mean, I know from, like I've said to you about the last 6 months, I know how hard it is to try and push yourself forward and to try and think things. And even though we always, I'm doing it now, we always have that happy face. And I mean, I love doing what I'm doing now, and this keeps my mind occupied. But once you're out away from the cameras now, you're back to yourself. You put a mask on.
Yeah.
And sometimes I put a mask on. I'm happy now. I'm happy because I'm here with you. I'm here with Daniel, and I'm in Wonderland. What can you not say you're unhappy for? You can't.
No.
But away from here, sometimes, I mean, I've done it with my partner, Marie. I've just turned around and said, I'm not feeling good today. I don't want to mix with anybody. I just want to shut away, and I do. And my shutting down is I'll go upstairs and I'll edit this or I'll edit something, because that's what I love doing and I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
And that's my way of
I still,
things.
I'm not saying I'm perfect. I still have my odd days where, I'll be here. I've done, I've done all the running around. And I do, on a Sunday, usually I'll go home and I'll go to bed and I'll sleep, because I know I'm back here in the morning. I think if I didn't have Wonderland, I'd be still in bed for months. And I do say to a lot of people, if we can get you out the house, even if it's just for a cup of tea, if you want to volunteer, there's always something here. And it gives you a purpose to get up and go and do it. And that's where I love you know, telling people to come down and, you know, just get out
Just
that
enjoy,
house.
Yeah. And that's the good part about Wonderland. And people can get in touch with you, can't they?
They certainly can.
The details, like I said, have been going along the bottom on this. Have you got a website or a Facebook page that they can go to as well, Steve?
Yeah, we have Facebook. We also have TikTok. So you'll see lots of videos and things like on there. And you can always give us a ring. And there's also an emergency mobile number. So you can ring that 24/7.
Superb. Stephen, Mr. Award winner.
Thank you.
Along with your assistant at the back there, Daniel.
Course.
I really appreciate you taking the time to do this for me.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm part of Wonderland now.
You certainly are. Part of the family.
I know. Thanks, Dad.
Not that bad.
Thanks so much, Steve.
No
Thanks
worries.
very much. Thank you.